Hi, I'm Ernie Zor for Puritas Spring Software. Welcome to our demonstration of Official Bankruptcy Forms version 10. In this video, I'll go through a small bankruptcy petition with just a few creditors. The average bankruptcy petition, as you probably are already aware, can be upwards of 50 pages long, and in this video, it's meant to be a demonstration, not a tutorial. So I'm going to move pretty quickly over most of the necessary forms. Let's get started. Like most of our legal and tax applications, the typical screen is divided into two sections. The left side is the tree view. It provides an outline for completing the required forms, and the right side is the form window that displays whatever form or schedule you've selected in the tree view on the left. We'll start at the top of the tree view. The first step is completing the voluntary petition. You'll notice that the form appearing on the screen looks the same as it does on paper. That makes the process of completing the forms easy and intuitive. Basically, you just tab from field to field and enter the requested information. I want to mention two things at this juncture. The first is the read-only fields. You won't find any on page 1 that you're looking at here, but as we go along, you'll notice that not all of the fields can be tabbed to. Items 18, 19, and 20 on page 6 are a good example. I'm going to go to page 6. And I'm going to scroll down to the check boxes there on items 18 through 20. And I'll try to get them so that they're visible with the scroll, yeah, there we go, the signature lines at the bottom. I wanted you to see those too. There's no reason to access items 18 through 20 because when you complete the other steps, Bank 10 will automatically complete the check boxes here on page 6. Of course, right now they're all set to 0 because I haven't started entering any creditor information yet. Now, the second thing I want to mention is that there are also overrideable fields that Bank 10 also completes automatically, but they can be overwritten. An example, as you see, is the debtor's signature at the bottom of page 6 here. The debtor's name has already been entered on page 1, so it's copied automatically to the 100 other places that it appears throughout the petition and schedules. Now, those overrideable fields can be tabbed to, but because Bank 10 fills them out automatically, there's usually no need to. These overrideable fields are easy to spot because they're kind of a pale blue color. And you can see two of them, again, right here on the bottom of page 6. Now, I've completed page 1 so you can see how easy it was to do, but the voluntary petition is actually 6 pages long, and this won't be a brief video if you watch me complete all 6 pages. So I'm going to open a file that I've already prepared, and that's got the voluntary petition already completed. And now that I've opened that up, we're going to move on to step 3. I'm skipping step 2, which is nothing more than saving the file because this demonstration file has already been named and saved. I'm going to go to step 3, and that is basically selecting an exemption file. And here I'm going to select Ohio single. There are, as you see, other states that you can pick from, and there's also the federal exemption files for use in states where the federal exemptions are preferable. I'm making this choice now because when I get to Schedule C, the contents of the exemption file will be applied to my Schedule C entries. You'll see that when I get to Schedule C. First, let's move on to Schedule AB. Now, Schedule AB has roughly 60 questions, all of which ask whether the debtor owns a particular type of property, and for each type, there are questions asking what the property is and how much it's worth. The questions are straightforward, and if you can think of a category of property, I'm sure there's a line number that covers it. If there isn't, there's a catch-all question, which is line 53. Now, I've just completed a bit of Schedule AB just now, but I'm not going to plod through 60-odd lines. Instead, right after I enter this current value in there, instead I'm going to open a file that I've already prepared, and that has Schedule AB completed. Bingo. Now, that brings us to Schedule C. There's the completed Schedule AB. And let's take a look at Schedule C. Now, I've listed all the property on Schedule AB, so we'll use Schedule C to claim the exemptions. Schedule C contains 3 items. The first is electing the federal or state exemptions. The second is listing the exempt property. And the third is electing whether or not you're going to take the homestead exemption. To complete Schedule C, you're going to need Schedule AB line numbers and property values. And while flipping between the screens for A, B, and C can be done easily enough, I find it's usually easier for me to make a printout of A, B that I can refer to. And that's what I did here, as a matter of fact. Now, Schedule C essentially repeats the same set of questions for each item of exempt property you're claiming. The first thing I want to do is display the exemption window by clicking the button on the toolbar so that I can copy and paste statutory sites and or values right into Schedule C. To do that, it's easiest to position the windows so that I can see them both at the same time. I'll try to do that right now, and I'll do one to show you. Let me start filling out the first item there on Schedule C. And again, I'm getting that Schedule AB line number and the value here from my printout of Schedule AB. And okay, now you'll see I'm positioned in the box there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the cell that's got the appropriate law. I'm going to raise that up so you can see it. There you go. I'm going to click on Copy Cell Contents to Clipboard, and then I'm going to position my cursor in that field. I'm going to right-click and select Paste, and that's how you get the statutory citation in there. Now, again, it would be pointless to watch me complete the entire Schedule C. Instead, I'm going to open a prepared file that has Schedule C already completed. Okay, now we can take a peek at Schedule C, but if I'm going to keep this video brief, I'm going to need to cover the remainder of the forms in this demo, and I'm going to have to do that in Part 2. So I'm going to conclude right now. I'm going to thank you for watching Part 1. I hope you'll take a look at Part 2, which covers the remaining forms, printing the forms, making the PDF petition that you're going to file with the upload to the court, creating the creditors matrix that you'll upload to the court. But for now, that's all I'm going to do. So take care, and I'll see you in Part 2.